Confident, confident, confident. I can be confident, 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 confident. I can be confident at work.
Hello and welcome to the Confident at Work podcast. I'm your host and your confidence coach, Anna Manning. And today our episode is going to be a little different. So one of my main jobs as a coach is to help people think about the future, a future which is different than the present reality that they've got now. But sometimes it can be hard to imagine what that would even be like. So one of my jobs is to help clients really clearly see a future which is different than the one they have now. That's important for a few reasons, but one of them is that if you can't see it and you can't imagine it, you don't really know exactly what you're working towards. It's all a bit fluffy and undefined. So I like to have my clients be able to really clearly visualize and then tell me, what would it be like if you were feeling more confident? And today in this episode, and I hope it's one that you can come back to again and again, I'm going to lead you through a guided visualization. Now, this is something that I do with most of my clients to help them mentally rehearse what the future will be like when they're feeling more confident. And it's amazing how much information and insight that you can get from just going through this quick process. So you can just feel free to listen to this as you're doing anything else, but really, you're going to get the most from it if you take a few minutes, sit back, be somewhere comfortable, and just listen and use your imagination to visualize a future which is different than your present, a more confident future. So get comfortable, and I'm going to lead you through a day in your confident life. So take a nice deep breath with me. And if you feel comfortable, just let your eyes close or keep a soft focus. And we're going to imagine a day in the life, a day in the work life, when you're feeling as confident as you want to be, whether that's 8 out of 10, 10 out of 10. However confident that is, we're going to transport you to a day where that is now the case. And now you've got your eyes closed and you're feeling a little bit relaxed. Open up that imagination and see yourself waking up on the day when you feel just as confident as you ever wanted to. And notice what's happening as you meet the day. Is there anyone around? Is there anything that you're doing? Is there anything that you're feeling as you're getting ready for this day where you're going into your place of work? Is there anything different in the way you're getting ready or preparing yourself for the day? Imagine the journey. What's different? What do you notice? How are you feeling as you're on your way to work? And now I want you to imagine arriving. What's different? On this day when you're as confident as you could ever want to be, who do you greet? How do you look as you enter your place of work? And as you're getting ready to start the day, what do you notice? What do you have planned? What are you excited about? What just feels normal? On this day when you're as confident as you could ever want to be, how do you go about your work? What's different? And now imagine there's some meeting that day. Who are you meeting? And on this day when you're as confident as you could ever want to be, how are you interacting? What kind of presence do you have? Is there anything you're doing differently? And imagine that day you have to have a tough conversation with someone, and now you're as confident as you could ever want to be. How does that conversation go? What's your approach? How do you feel? And now imagine that's done, and there's something that you're going to present. And notice how that feels on a day where you're as confident as you could want to be. See yourself there. What do you notice about the way which you present? How do you seem? How do the other people seem? And now imagine it's later in the day and you bump into someone that you haven't seen for a little while and they say, "Oh, I haven't seen you in a while. How are things? What have you been doing?" What do you tell them? And now notice the working day is done. What are you thinking as you close down for the day? Now, on this day, when you're as confident as you want to be, what are you doing after work? What does the rest of that day hold? And now you're coming to the end of that day and you're getting ready to go to bed. How are you feeling as you end this day? What are you looking forward to that might be coming tomorrow, next week, or next month? And now, if you can, just take a second to think about what you noticed. What stood out for you? from what you saw, visualized, imagined, from that day where you were as confident as you could ever want to be? Are there any interesting insights, bits of information, clues, ways of doing things that looked different? What do you know now that you didn't know before? What would you need to address in order to get there, into that day that you just imagined? That's the end of the visualization. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to come back to it whenever you want. It's a powerful thing to visualize yourself doing something. Remember, our unconscious doesn't really know the difference between what's real and what's imagined. And you already know that because when you're watching a film, your heart rate will increase. But none of that's real. It's imaginary. And you know it's imaginary. But it has an impact on your physiology and on your senses and how you feel. Visualization has the same power to do that. And you're practicing confidence. You're practicing being in that day. You're practicing what happens when things are different. The podcast is hosting a free masterclass. The class is called How to Grow Your Professional Confidence. There is a link in the show notes. Go ahead and click on that now and come and join us within that class. If you visualize something different today than what you have right now, this class will help you to think practically about what you need to do in order to get there. I'm going to help you to understand where confidence comes from, the things that you need to focus on, and help you make a plan so that you've got something practical you can actually use to move towards that day in the life being more of a reality. All right. I will see you in next week's episode. Bye.
Confidence, confidence, confident. I can be confident. Confidence, confidence, confident. I can be confident at work.